So you've got a skill, right? Something you're really, really good at, but you just have no idea how to turn that into an actual business? Well, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to break down a proven blueprint that shows you exactly how to get started. The core idea here is actually pretty simple. If you have a skill that provides real value to someone, whether that's organizing a chaotic closet, editing slick videos, or just helping seniors with their tech, you already have the raw material for a successful business. But yeah, that's always the big question, isn't it? Where do you begin? It's so easy to get completely overwhelmed thinking about legal stuff, websites, marketing. The good news is there's a much smarter place to start, and we're going to walk you right through it. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to be talking about a universal four-phase framework. Think of it as the ultimate blueprint that works for pretty much any service business, guiding you from that first little spark of an idea all the way to a real launch. Here they are, the four phases. First up, validation, and this is all about proving people will actually pay for what you do. Second, foundation. That's getting your legal and financial house in order. Third is building, where you create your brand and your systems. And finally, launch and grow. Now, here's the crucial part. Following this exact order is what minimizes your risk and builds some serious momentum. All right, so to see how this all works in the real world, we're going to apply this exact same framework to 5 totally different service business ideas. Let's see how this thing really builds. First up, a virtual assistant agency, but with a really smart twist. Instead of just being a generalist who does a little of everything, you focus on a very specific niche, like providing VAs exclusively for YouTubers. So for a business like this, that validation step is everything. Before you can even think about building an agency, you have to be the service. Your minimum viable product, your MVP, isn't some app or website. It's just you working for 1 or 2 creators. This is where you learn their exact pain points, and that becomes the foundation for everything else you build. And for growth, it's simple. You go where your clients already are. You become a familiar face in creator communities on places like Discord and Reddit. You start by offering your own services, and then, once the agency is ready, you make that little transition from saying, I can help, to we can help, passing those new clients to the VAs you've personally trained. Okay, or how about this? A senior concierge service. This is a non-medical business where you're helping seniors with all those daily tasks. Things like tech support for their iPad, running to the grocery store, or giving them a ride to appointments. Now, the crucial thing to understand here is that your service isn't just about doing tasks, it's about trust. Your real product is peace of mind. And that's why for this business, the validation phase starts with getting a comprehensive background check and rock-solid liability insurance. It is absolutely non-negotiable. The growth strategy here is pretty unique too. You see, you're not just marketing to seniors, you're often marketing to their adult children, the so-called sandwich generation, who are desperately looking for this kind of help. So you use platforms like Facebook, but you also build trust the old-fashioned way, with brochures and community hubs. Now, for a business that's super visual, professional organizing, and we're not just talking closets and pantries anymore, we're talking about helping people declutter their entire digital lives too. Think out-of-control email inboxes, thousands of disorganized photos, you name it. For an organizer, validation is all about the portfolio. You prove your value with incredible before and after transformations. Seriously, a great way to start is just by offering to organize a few spaces for friends for free in exchange for getting to take those amazing photos. That portfolio becomes your single most powerful marketing tool. And your growth strategy flows directly from that. Your portfolio is your marketing. You lean into visual platforms like Instagram and Pinterest. And you build really smart partnerships, like networking with real estate agents whose clients are almost always in the middle of a chaotic move. Okay, our next idea completely flips the script. Instead of doing a service, you teach one. Imagine creating a specialized workshop on a super valuable skill for a very specific audience, like, say, advanced Excel for finance professionals. So how do you validate a workshop? Well, the key is you don't spend months building some massive, perfect course. You start small. Your MVP is a simple 2-hour virtual workshop. You charge a low price, get a small group together, and your main goal is to test the material, get honest feedback, and collect those all-important first testimonials. Then the growth model here has 2 really powerful streams. On one hand, you can sell individual seats to your workshop to the public. But the real prize? selling the entire workshop directly to corporations for their teams. And for that, LinkedIn becomes your absolute best friend for connecting with the managers who can actually make that happen. And for our final example, we're looking at something that is a total game changer: productized consulting. This is such a brilliant shift in thinking. Instead of selling your time by the hour, you sell your expertise as a fixed-price product with a super clear outcome, like a 2-week website audit. And this right here is the core principle. The client isn't buying your hours, they are buying a guaranteed result. To validate this, you do your product for a few clients for free or for a low price, but your real goal is to turn your process into a repeatable checklist that delivers a consistent, high-value outcome every single time. The growth strategy here is incredibly focused. You don't even need a full website to start, just one powerful sales page for your one product. You find clients in niche online communities where they're already talking about their problems, and you prove your value up front with something like a free 10-minute mini audit. Looking back at these 5 very different businesses, a really clear pattern emerges. Having a great idea is obviously important, right? It's that initial spark. It gets you excited and points you in the right direction. But the real takeaway here is this: an idea by itself is not enough. The process, that is the engine. Following these 4 phases in order: validation, foundation, building, and launching, that's what actually builds the business, manages your risk, and drives you toward real success. And that really brings us to the final question, doesn't it? You have the skills, and now you have the blueprint. So, what service will you build?